And welcome again to the big match. And today on the programme, this is the lineup we have for you. From the second division, West Ham United against Watford. And later in the programme, two first division games as Nottingham Forest face West Bromwich Albion and league leaders Liverpool take on Southampton. And as a special bonus today, George Best in brilliant scoring form for Hibernian against Celtic. And as I promised you last week, the answer to our Golden Goals of the Decade competition. I'll be giving you the winning order of merit and the name of the lucky viewer. But first of all, action, and it's West Ham against Watford. West Ham have been making another run towards promotion. Watford, meanwhile, have been inching their way clear of the relegation zone, and both have had good cup wins in the past week. So let's get across now then to Upton Park.
Former Manchester United and England striker Stuart Pearson has overcome his injury problems and has helped to get West Ham back on a winning run again with 4 goals in his last 5 games, as West Ham now take on a promotion look again. Their team for this game shows one change from the side that beat First Division West Bromwich Albion in the Cup replay on Tuesday, with Billy Bonds returning after injury and Paul Brush being named the substitute. Jeff Pike continues in the number 9 shirt in place of David Cross, the leading scorer with 14, who's still not quite fully fit after a foot injury. As for Watford, like West Ham, they've a good cup win under their belt, victory last week at Queen's Park Rangers, and it's indicative of the changes manager Graham Taylor has brought to the side, that 6 of his 12 for this game have between them played only 44 games for the club. The relative newcomers being goalkeeper Eric Steele from Brighton, Mick Henderson from Sunderland, Martin Patching from Wolves, John Ward from Lincoln, Wilf Rostron from Sunderland, and Malcolm Poskett from Brighton. And because of Watford's form, it's improved. Malcolm Poskett, the striker who cost £100,000, has yet to play his first game, and today can only make the substitutes bench. The referee today is Clifford Maskell from Cambridgeshire. The crowd looking for something to warm them up on a really bitterly cold day, and I think that probably applies up in the director's box as well, where the two managers look tucked up. On the left, John Lyle of West Ham, and on the right in the spectacles, Graham Taylor of Watford. So it's Watford who get us away, attacking the goal to our right in yellow shirts, red shorts. West Ham in claret and blue with white shorts, and here's Frank Lampard turning it in here for Alan Devonshire. Brooking. And back to Phil Parks. Had such a storming game at West Brom in the Cup last week. Henderson to Blissett. Scored both goals when Watford beat West Ham at Vicarage Road earlier this season by 2-0. Patching. Henderson. Played on again down the line there towards Luther Blissett. Lampard watching closely. And a throw to Watford. Luther Blissett with 5 goals this season. 2, as I say, against West Ham back in September. Missing the inspiration, no doubt, of Ross Jenkins alongside him, but it's the throw for Watford now with Dennis Booth, their captain. Patching, turning it back. Steve Sims has gone right in there, and Sims looked as though he might have got a shot in there. Blissett playing it wide there towards Train, and it's cut out this time by Alvin Martin for West Ham, and the long ball forward towards Pearson. And Pearson shielding it well. Good advantage played by the referee. It's with Brooking running into trouble in the shape of Patching, and Booth now trying to get John Ward going away on that far side for Watford. A nice piece of control by him, played into Rostron. Good piece of play here by Rostron, and Watford looking lively. Ward with a shot and a good save by Parks. A lovely piece of play, though, by Wilf Rostron, the former Sunderland player that got it on its way. And Ward, who's got a former Lincoln City player, got a good goal-scoring record against in the lower leagues, got his shot in quickly, and Parks was down so quickly himself. Ray Stewart with a throw. It's a good long throw there. Pearson looking for the little back nod, which he gets, but it comes to nothing. But Stewart with a chance of turning it in away and well. Pike with a header, Steele with a comfortable save. former Brighton goalkeeper. He cost Watford £110,000. And his form has been pretty good since he joined Watford. Bit of bumping and boring there, and Billy Bonds concedes the free kick. A foul against Martin Patching. Watford's a free kick. Ian Bolton with the kick. It's a good looking one towards Ward, and again Clark's needing to clutch it out of the air. Got the better of it. Pearson, Devonshire. Neighbour. Devonshire again. Flicked inside once more. Ray Stewart letting one go, and it might come for Pike, and in the end, the bounce was favourable for Watford. And Steele was happy to grab hold of it. Back for Lampard. West Ham with a few players up now. Allen. Lampard. Devonshire. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, that was too. Brooking crossing it in there, and Pike with a header, but he couldn't get it in there. It might be there yet. No, it's not. As Neighbour tried to make something of it. And Watford were relieved indeed to get that one away, but it hasn't gone very far yet. As Pearson chases in on this one, and it's a corner. And while we wait for that, let's just have a look, first of all, at that lovely piece of play by Alan Devonshire. And then another piece by Brooking. And with West Ham, or rather with Watford in a lot of trouble there for a moment, it's finally hooked away as Neighbour came in. So here's the corner now, with Trevor Brooking taking it. Curled in once more there. Martin's gone right in there, and there's a foul as Pearson took his shot. A free kick to Watford. So it's a goal kick, or rather a free kick, which Eric Steele will take. An all-red strip. Shot in the back on Patching. Here's Devonshire for West Ham. Right, hustling away. Brooking trying to make up ground quickly, but Booth turned that nicely into the path here of Henderson. Lampard. Martin. Devonshire. A flick on there, a beautiful one there, just flicked out there, spotting Paul Allen, and here's Jimmy Neighbour taking on Harrison, really attacking him, playing it in for Allen, a bit of space to get a shot in, deflected away there, and Steele able to save at his ease. Meanwhile, Malcolm Foskett warming up for Watford. Martin, finding Lampard. Devonshire, shadowed by Henderson, a throw to West Ham. The sides met in the Cup here 2 years ago this month when Watford were in the 3rd division. West Ham were in the 1st, and he finished 1-0 to West Ham with a goal in the last 10 minutes. And we're 0-0 at the moment as we come towards half-time. Martin playing it on again towards Pike. A little cross in there towards Pearson. Neighbour's trying to come up and keep the ball in. He does, but Steve Sims is there to get it away for Watford. Watford have had a good run of late with only 2 defeats in their last 9 games, and they were both by a single goal. And really they've shown some improved form here at Upton Park. They've contained West Ham pretty well. West Ham attack still not posing any great threat. And indeed, there is the half-time whistle. A disappointing finale so far as West Ham were concerned. They started quite brightly the first 20 minutes or so, and then the game fell apart, and there's no doubt about it that certainly in the opening period of the game, that when Watford were making chances as well, it's a game that could have gone either way, and certainly still could. A half-time score then here at Upton Park. West Ham 0, Watford 0, and we'll be back with the second half. Welcome back then to Upton Park, 0-0 after the first half, where it was really touch and go. For the first quarter of an hour, both sides were making chances, and then the half fell away a little bit. Watford's biggest problem this season is their inability to score goals. 22 all season in 26 games. And in fact, they've only had 2 away wins all season, but promisingly enough, they were the last 2 games they've played at Preston and at QPR in the Cup. Well, here's Bissett. Their big problem, of course, is that they're without Russ Jenkins, their giant striker. I gather from Graham Taylor that it's likely that he'll get a reserve game next week and could be considered for the first team in a fortnight's time. In fact, he's here at the ground today. Oh, when he's back, it'll help the scoring problem, no doubt. Sims crossing it in. Brooking nodding it down there for Pearson. Booth. Way down here for Ward. Interesting quickly by him. That was a nice little cross. Played back again towards Blissett. After Patching had played an interesting ball across to him, and Luther Blissett completely missing his kick. To the relief of the vast majority of people at Upton Park. Crossing it in, a flag up for an offside against Stuart Pearson. Stewart handing it forward. Bolton with a header. Ward touching it there for Rostron. A nice little play back there by Patching, still right up there amongst the front men. Nice little play there by Booth, sending Henderson, the fullback, on his way inside for Rostron. Hit first time, and a brilliant goal by Rostron for Watford. A really brilliant move that by Watford, where Dennis Booth played such an important part in it. And when it came inside for Wilf Rostron, well, even the flying Phil Parkes couldn't stop it. West Ham 0, Watford 1. Wilf Rostron. Well, the Watford fans down in that far corner very happy with the way things are gone. Their team a goal up. Pearson with the header for Brooking. Now on for Pike. And again, the long legs of Ian Bolton were there to get the ball away to safety. Labour with the West Ham throw. Brooking making a run towards that byline. And getting it in there towards Eric Steele. Fisted away, but not very far. Brooking whacking it in there, and Devonshire couldn't quite get there. Now it's Alvin Martin. West Ham thundering men forward. Martin's enthusiasm getting the better of him when there were plenty of men up there. It might have been worth a little curler in towards any one of 4 or 5 of them. But it's a goal kick to Watford. to miss it. And a Watford throw. He's given a free kick to West Ham. Very much as though Martin was doing a little bit of shoving of his own. Devonshire. Pike outside him. Pearson through the middle, and Brooking through the middle. Hitting there straight, first time at Eric Steele. They've not made many chances, West Ham, and it's surprising with talented players like Devonshire and Brooking, none more talented in the second division, but it was Devonshire then for Brooking, and a quick turn, but Steele to save. Now Pearson. Well, that was a little luck there for Devonshire. Crossed in towards Brooking. Pike is in there too, and now Ray Stewart for West Ham. Nice touch there by Neighbour. Martin crossing it in there. That might be a little too close to the keeper though. Pearson having a jump for it. It might come for Pike, and it might come now for Pearson, who could only screw it by a goal kick. Still, the clear chance is not coming West Ham's way. Defending quite decisively and quite effectively. Allen. That's going to be a throw. So it'd be quite a feather in Watford's cap if they can say they've completed the double over West Ham, having beaten them 2-0 at Watford in September. Right, oh, some nice touches there by West Ham. If Brooking can get on the end of it, it's a corner though. The ball coming off Dennis Booth. Crowd doing their best to get behind this West Ham side now. Still this goal down. Bonds and Martin have come up, and they're looking for Brooking to put the ball onto the head of one of them. And it's Martin, in fact, and it was Henderson who got it away. Martin's still right in there, wondering if he can get the ball to Brooking. Well, he doesn't need to. Plays it instead to Devonshire. And Pike and Billy Bonds. And across the goal, and a corner. Well, that was certainly a scare for Watford, because that ball ricocheted across the goal and eventually come to Billy Bonds. Devonshire. Pushing forward more and more. Brooking. The ball hit the corner flag and stayed in, and it's found Brooking. Oh! And Neighbour! 1-1. No, disallowed. Disallowed. I only believe that there must have been an offside there. As Devonshire found Brooking, and the ball came across the 6-yard area. And Jimmy Neighbour turned it in. That's it. Well, there's a turn of speed for you. He's brought down by Lampard, and Lampard's going to get a yellow card. Free kick to Watford, and a yellow card for Lampard for the challenge on Bissett. Steve Sims has come up for it. Big man Ward is there. Pearson got it away for West Ham. Watford throw. Bolton turning it in once more. Allowed to go all the way to Ward, and here's Phil Fox. Pearson, Devonshire, Brooking, Devonshire, Stewart, now Neighbour, played on for Devonshire. That's a West Ham throw. Oh, he's given it to Watford. And I think the linesman looks there as though he's been hit by something. That could be a dangerous state of affairs. And I think probably what the referee will do will to get some treatment for him and also organise the police to patrol that area. Whoever threw that was an absolute idiot. In Watford making a substitution, Luther Blissett's gone off while that was happening. And Malcolm Foskin is coming on. Coming around to see what happened, to make sure at any rate that it doesn't happen again. He's still dabbing his head and occasionally looking at his hand and whether the missile has drawn blood on it. At any rate, at the moment it's Ray Stewart with a free kick for West Ham. Played in towards there. Stuart Pearson there. Billy Bonds is there with a header, and Steele allowed that to go right across the face of his goal, which might have been dangerous with Brooking coming in, but it's a goal kick. And 4 policemen now moving round to this side of the ground to make sure there's nothing untoward happening between the crowd and the linesman. Finding Pike. Good cross called for. Devonshire again, some nice delicate skills there, but Watford get it away for the corner at any rate. Crowd getting behind West Ham again as they plant a few men forward. Billy Bonds has come up. Just Paul Allen staying back now to look after John Ward. Stewart takes this corner again for West Ham. In towards the near post there. Pike is there trying an overhead, and he's in the net with Billy Bonds. 1-1. With 4 minutes to go. The West Ham skipper with a header who saved the day. Oh, there's delight there. It was an overhead kick in point of fact, but opened up the way Jeff Pike. And Billy Bonds deflected it on and into the back of the net. West Ham won, Watford won, and West Ham's captain scores his first goal of the season, and really it came at the most opportune moment. A minute to go, plus some time to be added on for injuries. Here's Foskett. As Watford now seek to get back that lead as Henderson plays it in, and it could be dangerous. They're all coming in there, they're lining up. Oh my word, and it fell straight into the arms of Phil Fox. So close indeed as that ball finally came in there, and Patching's header from close range, fortunately for West Ham, fell straight at Phil Fox. Ward right up there. We've had a minute of time added on for stoppages as Ward looked to dive to me, but it clearly was a foul as well, and it's a free kick to Watford. the second minute of time added on for stoppages. Now, are Watford going to snatch something dramatically, almost with the last kick or the last header of the game? They're not, because Phil Parks is there. The whistle had gone in any case for the end of the game. A 1-1 draw, and West Ham can thank their skipper Billy Bonds with that goal just 4 minutes from time, his first of the season. A really lacklustre West Ham performance against Watford, who looked sprightly throughout, and indeed went into a lead which they just about deserved with the number 11 Will Frostford, and what a beautiful goal it was after a fine move. And you really get the impression as you see what is really a new look Watford side, that soon it would appear that their relegation fears could well be behind them. A final score then here at Upton Park as the players come off. West Ham 1, Watford 1.
I have to say, over 90 minutes, that was a pretty poor game, and from West Ham's point of view, a very disappointing performance, and that's after giving credit to Watford for a really significant improvement in their form. But just where did things go wrong for West Ham? I spoke afterwards to their former England and Manchester United striker, Stuart Pearson. West Ham certainly were off form.
That's right. After such a good result on Tuesday, the manager was talking about everybody going out and all about attitudes, really, coming back to the league. Because in all fairness, I think West Ham getting back to the first division is priority number one. And really, I think we was just lacking in a little bit today. But in all fairness, I think Watford are one of the best sides that have come here this season, and they give us hell of a game. And they're going to cause a lot of people problems.
I mean, you got the equaliser with Billy Bonds, of all people, right? I think it's first of the season, wasn't it?
That's right. I think with it being only 5 minutes ago when Billy scored, I think everybody was happy with the result, because it was a point gained today rather than the point lost, I think.
Yes. And in fact, you had a goal disallowed yourself. I mean, Jimmy Labour scored it, but I think you were given offside, were you? Is that it?
That's true. I found it a little bit harsh. I thought it was a little bit harsh anyhow. I thought Trevor was about a yard from the byline, and I thought he pulled the ball back a little bit. But the referee was in line. He said it was offside, so you've got to accept that. But I thought it was a little bit harsh. Maybe you could see it again when you play it back on TV. But at first, when he gave it offside, I flicked the ball, and I didn't know whether he gave Jimmy Neighbour offside, because he was coming in far post and he tapped the ball in.
Yes.
So I didn't know it was me, but it was me that he gave offside.
It was. And the referee and linesman were absolutely right. As Trevor Brooking picks up this ball here and plays it in, Stuart Pearson is given offside, the referee told me later, at that point there as he flicks it in. And Eric Steele parries the ball there. And even when Jimmy Neighbour comes in again to finish it off, and we stop it there, you'll see that both Pearson and Brooking are offside. And look at the referee beyond Trevor Brooking, ideally placed with his linesman to make the right decision there. But is Stuart Pearson himself now settling down in the south?
Well, I've only just adapted, actually. The last month it's been a lot better, because only for one reason, I'm 100% fit again. When I first came down, I was staying in a hotel. I never saw my family for 2 or 3 weeks, and it was very hard to adapt. And apart from trying to please the fans, you've got to show the boys in the team that you can still play a little bit. And until this last 4 or 5 weeks, I haven't been able to do that. I was a bit disappointing, to say the least. But now I'm 100% fit. I'm feeling a lot happier. I've moved into a new house just before Christmas, so everything's starting to click again. The old confidence is back, and hopefully I'll go on to score a few more goals.
But what about the Watford point of view? What did manager Graham Taylor see yesterday in terms of improvement in his new look side?
Well, I think bearing in mind that we have sort of 6 of those 12 players out there who played so few games, and I say 6 of them still in hotels looking for houses, I saw a little bit more understanding, and you'll only get that from playing together. And as you know, we've changed the team radically in the last 10 weeks. And so I saw little bits of understanding, a little bit more of good inventive play, which in fact I like to think that the type of players that I've bought for that reason. And
you've got a cup tie coming up against Harlow. Now, that's something that captures a lot of people's imagination. What are your thoughts about that at the moment?
Well, you know, Brian, it depends which way Harlow want to play it, doesn't it? I mean, we had all of this last year when we were at Manchester United and Nottingham Forest, and understandably, people want to hear what the underdogs have to say and how they're going to approach. So it's really all in Harlow's court. All I can say is that the only way you can compare the two teams is that Harlow have played Leicester twice, and we've played them twice, and we haven't beat them, and with a deficit of 5-1. Harlow have beaten them and drawn, and they're 2-1 up on aggregate. So we're the underdogs, really. If they want to play it that way. I'm quite happy for us to be the underdogs.
Who's he kidding? And indeed, for the record, Watford's cup opponents Harlow lost at home 3-0 yesterday to Hayes in the Berger Isthmian League. And in fact, I think there were about 750 fans there to see it. And just before we leave West Ham, let me just clear up that incident about the linesman being hit by something from the crowd. It does seem that Mr. Hazard of Surrey was hit probably by a coin. But the referee, Clifford Maskell, who I thought had a really good game, told me afterwards that he would not be reporting the incident to the Football Association. He says, I shall mention it only if the FA asks me. Coming up next then, Nottingham Forest against West Bromwich Albion, Liverpool against Southampton, and the answer to our golden goal of the decade competition, and that's after this short break.